Hey guys, it's Amy Brown. Excited to talk to you today a little bit about If Local and everything that's happening here behind the scenes. And I know you guys are working on a lot of stuff for your gatherings, and so want to equip you to help you do that. And so first I'm going to provide 3 just general updates. First of all, excited to share with you that there are now over 800 If Locals on the map. That is huge, especially compared to where we were last year. And so you guys are just stepping up, taking initiative, and it's so excited to see God moving through your local communities and through you, and we can't wait to hear all the stories. Second is that we have a vision cast on November 17th. That's a Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Mark it on your calendars. We'd love for you to join us, and if for any reason that you can't, the video will be available after the fact, but it'll just be a great time for you to ask your questions and get them answered live, and to hear directly from Jenny about what we're preparing for this February. The third thing is that next week we're planning on providing more marketing materials for you to continue to spread the word about If through your churches and your community. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about copyright stuff and just setting up your If Locals for success and ensuring that you're using our logo, our materials, our content in a way that is proper and right. And so I'm excited to talk to you about that. But today we're talking budgets, and I'm excited to actually show you several budgets from real If Locals. I think it's going to be very informative and helpful. But before you look at those, I really want you to hear the next few things. So tune in right now. First of all, you may not have a budget, and that is so okay. Let me tell you that. Especially for those of you just planning on grabbing a few friends in your house or doing a smaller gathering, you don't need a budget. There are 3 things that you have to host an If Local. The first is a place to watch. So a home or a church classroom or something like that. You just need a place to watch it. The second is you need the equipment to watch it with, the actual live stream. You need internet and a laptop computer and a plug-in to a TV or a projector. Or if it's just a couple of you, maybe it's just a laptop. But you need the venue, the way to watch, and then the third thing you need are conversation cards. And you can print those out on January 12th from your home computer, use some scissors, and you're good to go. So again, a budget is not necessary, and there are plenty of cost-saving measures that we're going to talk about today. You may be sitting there looking at a budget, and you may only have a couple people registered for your If Local. And you're like, well, how am I going to do this? Or you've taken the risk and said, I'm not going to charge a host fee, and I'm going to trust God to provide. We are all in the same boat, and we are lifting each other up in prayer through that. I mean, even us at If Gathering, we do not have more than half of the budget that we need to throw this event. But we've seen God provide twice before, and we are asking Him to do it again. And so with your budget, hold it loosely with open hands, because you never know how God is going to provide, what He's going to provide, through whom He's going to provide it. And that may force you as a host to change up the way that you're spending your money. And so we can't wait to see the way that He does that through your If Local gathering. Third, seek out your church's support or other churches in your area. They have budgets for things like this, and so you don't have to necessarily do it alone. So approach them, have those conversations. I truly believe that they'll be worthwhile. Lastly, if you have costs that go beyond any sort of church budget or private donation, you do have the opportunity to charge a host fee through our registration system. So we've heard you that these things can cost money. We're not dumb about that. And so we wanted to provide a way this year for you to be able to pay for some of these basic expenses. So if you visit ifregistration.tumblr.com, it walks you through the criteria for applying for a host fee and how you go about making that happen. So go check that out. So about the budgets, I want to walk you through just like a couple of line items so that you are aware for your gathering, especially you larger gatherings, of some costs that you might incur in this process. So first and foremost, meals and snacks seem to be one of the largest kind of line item things. Ways that you can help cut down those costs are absolutely potlucking certain meals, changing your schedule so that you're not meeting during a mealtime, but meeting after a mealtime, or going out to eat and then reconvening to watch the session are 3 different ways that you can save right there. The other thing is paper goods, pens, journals, any sort of writing material or ability for you to kind of do that check-in process or anything like that you should consider. Next is printing. Three things that are commonly printed are signage, programs, and name tags. So consider those 3 potential expenses. Rentals. Sometimes if locals like to provide the long tables, like farm tables for their gatherings like we do at If Austin, and that can be an expense that you might run into. But again, you can turn chairs around in circles. You can use circular tables that the church already can provide. All those things can save you on the cost there. Lastly, you might pay for a tech person or have live worship, and the band might have an honorarium that you should honor and actually pay. So have those conversations with those people before you get them to sign on to potentially volunteer, and just see if there's a way that you can bless them by actually paying them for their time that weekend. And then lastly is decor, things like florals. We're going to provide, again, the experiential kit for If Local, so we'll provide you with graphics and other signage that you can easily print from any sort of church or home computer and printer, but you might do that. And then the last thing, pro tip here, is we like to have an experience. So last year we had rocks, and we threw that out the last 2 weeks before the event. And so keep a portion of your budget safe, free from any other pending expenses, and hold that as a nest egg for any potential last minute experiences or recommendations or opportunities that we kind of throw your way. So peruse these other budgets. Please, again, remember to keep things simple and pure. We tend to overcomplicate and bring in a lot of detail, and we really want to remind you that to keep what's most important. And we just hope that these budgets provide you another tool and resource, but by no means is it a mandate. So take it into consideration, and thanks so much for all that you're doing.